Hi and welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio, everybody. My name's Nicole and today is Thursday, so we are here for Crafting with DDs and we are working on the Trip to the Stars EPP mini quilt or wall hanging by the Sewalicious Baker. So let's get started. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while we do a little bit of crafting. Again, we are working on EPP. As I said in the intro, we are working on Trips to the Stars. Today, I am up to the next step. I am up to working. I've finished the hexagon, so I have my 4 panels now. So these ones have all the same fabrics in them and they just get positioned a little bit different. And they are the top and the bottom corners of the of the quilt. So I've also prepped all the white ones. The only preparation that I haven't done is this center circle here, and the verdict is in on which way I'm going to go. I'm actually going to put this purple cat one in the center with white around the outside. So I've made my decision now, so I can do them in the next week or so. But today we are going to be working on our colorful stars. So all the papers came in. These are all 1-inch diamonds that we're going to be using, and I do apologize about the rustling, but it can't be avoided. I don't really want little bits of stars floating around everywhere. So what has everybody been up to? Hopefully you're having a great crafty day, and grab yourself a cuppa. If you haven't got any craft out yet, grab some craft, sit back, relax, and listen to me waffle on while we do a little bit of crafting. All right, so we have the overhead camera. I can see there that I can see everything, and you can see the size of these little diamonds that we're going to be working with. So I've prepped a couple of fabrics just off to the side here. And I'm just going to do this a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit of a hack job. So a lot of people don't do it this way. They'll mark it out with the little templates and all the rest of it. But I have quite a number of stars to make. Now, in total, for all the stars in the quilt, there is just under 1,800 of these little diamonds. So you can imagine I've got a fair bit of prep work to do, so I want to get as much of that done as possible, and then basically we'll do some sewing. I'm going to show you a couple of stars over this week and next week that I have done and got ready to sew into the quilt, and then I probably will do something a little bit different on Crafting with DDs, because I will just put this, not put it aside, but work on it in the background and get a little bit further along before it makes an appearance. So what will happen is I will probably bring this out once a month, and then you'll be able to see it on camera, but we'll have lots of other things that we're going to be doing. Again, I would just like to say thank you to everybody that has been watching these videos and leaving lovely comments. I do appreciate that. I have had the plumber in and they have fixed the pipe down the bottom, so I can actually now show you, once they're finished up completely down there, I will be able to get into my storage room and grab out my Dear Jane English paper piecing, and then that way you can have a look at that as well. Now, from memory, I've only done 4 blocks in that, but I have sorted out row A. So we might do a little bit of that. And I've got a couple of ideas for you guys to join in the fun as well, involving a little bit of English paper piecing and just a little project that you can make for yourself, and hopefully you'll join in the fun. But let's get into doing some of these diamonds, shall we? I'm going to work on the white today. Now, the 3 colours that I have picked out today, I don't think I'm going to be for the stars. I won't be using the teacup, the cat, or the yellow cat, or the hat. I'm thinking maybe I might use the hat because I'll be able to get little teacups and stuff like that. So let me just pull out the hat one and show you. So these are the ones that I've picked out today. These have got little small prints on them. So we've got the little flowers, the suits for the cards, and then this here is just very busy. So I'm just gonna hack that up. But the little hat one that I'm talking about, I don't know whether I'm going to use much of this because, but then again, like if I put a little where is my template? So that'll give us a better look at it. Let me just pull that out. This is a great little tool for when you're fussy cutting and stuff like that. So if I do use it, like I will be able to get like little critters on there or the teacups. So I'm in two minds whether I want to use that or not, because I think it'll look great in a little zipper pouch or something instead. So we'll see where we end up. Now, because I'm not using the purple, the cream with the different colors on it, and the yellow with the cat, so in these ones here, so I'm not going to be using these three here for the diamonds. This one's still, but this one, and this one, definitely. So what I will do is I will have a look at those packs that I've got that have the stripes and the spots in it, and I will bring those colours in. So this one's just like mostly a cream one. I'll see if I've got a cream with maybe a green dot on it or something. I can't remember what I have, but I will bring in a colour that will have a fair amount of stars in it and colour in it. So I'm going to use, as I said, the jury's still out on this one, but the others that I have picked out for today, they are perfect because they're small prints. As you can see, they're quite small, and it's a great way to finish up using them up. So I'm going to do it a little bit of a cheats way today. We might start with the suits for the cards, and all I'm going to do... Oh no, and this is terrible. But anyway, this is it's not terrible. It is a way of doing it. I've seen other people do it as well. All right, so I have my cuppa. I have my scissors that I need. I've got my template out now, but I'm not going to be using that. What I'm actually going to do is now I just have to look at the quilt because it doesn't really, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference which way these little diamonds go because they're coming into one another and they're going to move. So I'm going to work across with the suits going down on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my glue and put a little dot on that. Hopefully you can see that okay. Do we need a little bit more light? I think we might. Let me just get a bit more light on this. It's not much, but it's something. All right, so... And I have to remember my iron's just near my leg. I can see what's going to happen. You'll see me jump and you'll know why. All right, so all I'm going to do is just put a little dot on my diamond, and then I'm going to leave enough room. So I'm going to eyeball it about 1/4 of an inch. And if I put my little template on here, I can see that there is enough fabric there, and you can see the little template fits inside it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a heap on here. Well, I'm going to start with 6, and then that way we can start stitching I'll just pop that there. Make sure we've got enough around that. We should have. So you can see I'm just going to leave probably about 1 inch between each one. Maybe a little less. You can measure it if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But what have we got? We've got at least 2 of the shapes in between each one. And it doesn't matter if there's a little bit more or a little bit less because it's all caught up in our seam allowance anyway. And then I will just, to get more bang for my buck, I will just bring this one down to about here. And you can see that this is going to make it super quick and super easy to get all our pieces down. So what I thought I'd do is I'd do a little bit of prep, show you what I'm going to do, and then what we can do is cut some out. All right, I'm just going to take this little bit off. We only have to have it about a 1/4 of an inch away from the So you can see I have a lot of prep work to do, and then I'm just eyeballing my seam allowances. So you can see there. And you can see how you'd be able to use lots of different little scraps. And I'm actually going to be keeping all these little pieces because I thought that I could use them and stitch them all together and then just create my own fabric and then make a little bag out of it. Little notions bag or something along those lines. And I've got a couple of ideas for that. I'm just in the process of, collecting all my scraps that I need, and then that way I will be able to create essentially what I'm going to be doing is creating my own fabric. So that is why I'm keeping all of my scraps. Because we all know that I have an issue with wastage. But if I can create something nice out of it, it's well worth it, isn't it? All right, so as you can see, this is going to be a lot quicker for me to piece my stars together. All right, so now I need some white. Where did I just put that? We'll do some white, and then I can show you how the stars go together. Now, I'm not concerned about having a little bit of glue on there. It dries clear and it washes out too. So if I ever wash the quilt, which I will probably do by hand, it will definitely not be there anymore. So, and once you've got the batting and the quilting and everything taken out, it's fine. You won't be able to see it at all. So as you can see, I'm going to get a fair bit of diamonds out of these. Like this is a piece of scrap white that I found the other day, so I'm using it as opposed to cutting anything off my meterage that I've got. So I've been going through my scraps and just trying to find all my little bits of leftover, because I do a lot of tutorials and stuff like that. I inadvertently end up with little bits of fabric and whatnot that get picked up with all the stuff that I've used and put into the scrap basket, and I haven't really sorted that into colours. So I'm in the process of going through that at the moment and finding all my white fabric and getting it out. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it's the same colour white. But I'm pretty sure this one is. And even if it's not, I'm not really that fussed about it. Hopefully you can see that clearly. These camera angles, I'm still trying to get it so it works for me. I'm pretty limited for my filming space, so that makes it a little bit tricky. Okay, so for each star, I need 6 of the coloured and 6 of the white. So I've got that now. And basically all I'm going to do is just continue to trim these up. And then we will start putting them together. I've got a little bit more gluing to do. I'm still not 100% sure if I want to glue around the outside. Like, I don't mind doing the glue, but I so like just sitting there. I think it's the zen of the stitching. Stitching all the bits and pieces together. And as I said, I don't actually go through the cardboard, so it makes it really quick. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a weird little chicka babe sometimes. All right, so let me just put these scraps out of the way. But for today's purposes, we will do the gluing because I don't have my thread here. It's off in the bedroom still. Oh, I hate that when that happens. Just get a big... There we go. All right, so now for those that are new here, this is the gluing method. And as I said, I like to do the based method where I actually sew the back. And I don't have my hexagons here, they're inside. So I didn't bring them to show you. But normally, did I do it on any of those? No, I didn't. I used glue on those. But that's what we're aiming for. So we're just going to do that and then we can start sewing our little star together. Now you can see here that I didn't really put enough on this one, but that's okay because it's still going to get caught up, and there's still enough there for me to roll that over. So you can see there. And then I'll just roll this one over. And you can see it just holds it. So if you do accidentally cut something small like I just did then, just start on that small side and then all your other long sides will hold it together really well. But I have had so much fun in the last couple of weeks, just actually taking some time, little doggies, taking some time and getting some crafting done. It's been a lot of fun. Like, I feel like I'm making progress now. Whereas before I just felt like I had all this stuff and I wasn't doing anything with it. Whereas now I feel like, yeah, I'm getting stuff done. So thank you for coming along with me and keeping me motivated as well. And hopefully you're getting some stuff done as well. I hope that's the case. Even if it's not and you're just taking 5 minutes to sit back and relax, I'm happy for you to do that too. And leave me a comment down below and let me know if you did do any crafting or whether you just took 5, had a cuppa and relaxed. I'd like to really know what everybody's doing. Oh, did everybody see the zipper tutorial yesterday that I did? If you've not made a zipper pouch, this little pouch here is a super beginner friendly and it holds so much. Like, you can see there that's got, like, this is my annotating. So when I'm reading a book and I want to take notes and stuff like that, like I've got some pens, regular pens in here in different colours. And then I've got these little tabs as well. And then I've got highlighters and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll highlight a passage, especially quotes and whatnot. I like to highlight quotes. And it closes up. And you can also, if you wanted to, you could actually hook this up in your bag or your school bag or whatever, and hold it in place. So make it super easy. But it doesn't take up a lot of room in your bag either. That's why I like those flat pouches, because they hold so much. And such a fun, quick tutorial to do as well. So I think the video goes for 20 minutes and I'll take you from right through the steps and show you how to do it. So you want to remember to get your fabric, you just seen, I don't know whether you've seen that or not, I repaired it pretty quickly. So this wasn't flush on here, so this little corner was up a little bit. You really want to be accurate with your bits and pieces. I'm just going to move my fabric over to here because I'm going to iron these shortly. Alright, get rid of some of this stuff. Alright, you can see them sitting there on my ironing pad. See, and the reason, like on the big ones, I don't mind using the glue, but on these little ones, I don't know whether I'll be able to get, I feel like I'm not going to be able to get the bits and pieces out of it. So yeah, I'm just going to adjust that camera a little bit. There we go. Starting to pop out. We don't want that. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't be able to get the little bits and pieces out. But, you know, you're not pulling them out until they're sewn together anyway. So it doesn't matter if you're a little bit rough and ready with them. I'm just going to press that one because that's a little bit crinkled. There we go. It's a bit better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just in two minds about it. I want to embrace the gluing because it's quick, but at the same time, if I'm going to have trouble down the track, this is where, like on the big ones, I have no problems with that. The only thing I regret doing is I didn't put a hole in, like a lot of the time with my hexagons, I put a hole punch hole in the bottom. in the center, sorry, and then that way I can just I can use my like chopsticks or tailor's awl or whatever to get them out. It just makes it easy to pull them out. That makes sense at all. Oh, they're so cute. Look at those. They're going to be adorable. I'm looking forward to it. So this will be our first star. And then, as I said earlier, I think what I'll do is I'll keep doing prep in the background for this, because it'll probably take me about a week to prep everything. And then I'll start sewing the stars together. I'll do updates on my floss tube if I've done any during the week. But the next time you see this, maybe in September. But I think we can, I've got enough crafts here to pull something else out and play around with that. Get some blocks done and things like that. It would be really good. All right, I don't know why this camera keeps moving. I'm just going to move it. Oh, maybe that's why it was. Oh, sorry about that. That's better. It keeps slipping out of the little holder. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, it is what it is. Leave me a comment down below and tell me how often you'd like to see this project out. Would you like to see it more often than not? The next things that I will sort of want to work on are some of the block of the months that I've purchased from the Fat Quarter Shop. I'd really like to do some of those, because they're all sitting on the shelf just behind me, and I've got another one coming. Actually, I haven't seen that yet. They did say they shipped it. I'm sure they said they shipped it, or maybe it was getting ready to ship. Don't know. Sometimes it takes a little while to get here, but I've paid for it, so it should be on its way. I'd assume Fat Quarter Shop's pretty good like that. They get it shipped out pretty quick. So, and to be honest, I can't even remember what it looks like. That's pretty bad. But see, I ordered it so long ago. At one stage there, I thought I didn't order it, and I actually put in a second one, and then I realized that I'd actually already ordered it. So I had to send him a message going, I have 2. I don't need 2. So, yeah, so I can't even remember which one it is, like what the fabric looked like or anything. Oh well, get that on some of these bigger jobs. I'm still plodding away at the borrow. I'll probably put an update. I don't think... Have I put an update already? Yeah, I put an update on the weekend. So I'm due to put an update up, because I haven't put one up this on... I was supposed to put up on Wednesday and I didn't. All right, so we have that. Now, just bear with me for a second while I find where my thread and needle is. I was asked the other day, are you supposed to double your thread? I think it's just a personal preference. We had a bit of a discussion about it on Friday, and basically the 2 of us do it differently. So basically we have Michelle that she only uses 1 strand of thread, and then you've got me who uses 2 strands. And the reason I started using 2 strands was because I just kept having more issues with my my thread breaking all the time, and I just didn't want that anymore. So I just went, you know what, I'm just going to use 2 threads. And the question was, can it be seen? So no, like I've used, I'd have to look pretty closely. There's none showing on that one. And there's none showing on that one as well. Like, so you can see, like, that's 2 different ones. So there's one. And, like, don't forget that this is still in the cardboard. So once it comes, the cardboard comes out, it will relax a little bit. Like, so you can't really see the stitches in that one. And then I'll just grab this one. And you can see here, that has used 2 strands as well. And you can't really, like, if I pull it up, like, stretch it, you can. But as I said, that's stretching it. I've got 1 strand that I can see here, but that you can see that I've actually gone too far down, whereas with my others, I've gone across the top of the cardboard, and I do mine on an angle too, so I don't know if you can see that or not. If I get up really close and I lock that, it should focus. So, yeah, I can see that my stitches are going on an angle, but as I said, that's still in the cardboard. Once it's out of the cardboard and it's quilted, you're not going to even notice that. But yeah, I sort of do mine on an angle, and I find that I don't get, whereas here you can see I wasn't really concentrating, and if I stretch it apart, you can see I'm going straight across. So where I've gone on an angle, I can't see my stitches, but where I've gone straight across, I have. So maybe that is something that if you're struggling with your stitches being seen. Okay, so maybe there is something to stitching on an angle, and that's why I can't see them. So we'll just see where we end up. So we're going to get this star stitched together, and this is not very exciting stuff, but anyway. Oh. Thread just broke. What the heck? Maybe I didn't tie the knot properly. We'll try that again. Alright, let's put a knot in that this time, hey? No, I want to play the game today. Right. Okay, so maybe that has something to do with it, stitching on the angle, like, because I've been doing it on camera, and it's just gone a little bit better because of stitching on the angle. So yeah, I guess time will tell. As I said, you could see pretty clearly the stitches where I've gone straight across, but I don't know whether that makes a difference or not. So who knows? It could have been that I've just gone a little bit further down on that one. I'll move my scissors out of the way. But we're going to get this star sewn together, and I'll stay with you until I've put at least one white in, but we'll get our little star all sewn together. And I do my stitches a little bit closer too than I guess, I'm not sure what everybody else does. I've never really, like, I learnt in person from a lady that, it'd be close on 11 or 12 years ago now, was where I first learnt how to do hexagons, like the hexagon flowers, like I think it's called the Grandma's Garden quilt that they were doing, and so that was what I first started with. This is the first time I've done a star, so I don't know how well it's gonna turn out, and I've done a little bit, like I've mostly worked with hexagons. I'll like, to be honest, that's all I've really worked with. The Dear Jane quilt is which I will get out eventually, is the first time I've worked with different shapes, including squares and stuff like that, because the whole quilt is done with English paper piecing. All right, so that's our first bit put in. The next bit that goes in is a little white one. So I'm going to add one of those in. And I am just going to get rid of some of this tail because that is just way too much. I don't recommend you cut them off, but that was huge. So that's why I'm just going to take that one out of the way. And then I'm going to line up my white one. So basically what's going to happen is you start, when you go all around, you're going to have these little V's, and we're just going to put our little white one into that. So I figured I will just do that all the way around. Maybe make the components like this, and then it might be easier to sew everything together. So as I said, this is the first time that I have done a star. So I am just doing this as I go along with you. And I just don't want to... but I think next week I'll work on something different next week. I might pull, well, if I can get down into the Dear Jane quilt, I might pull that out and we can have a look at that. But I'd also like to start working on some of the quilt blocks and stuff that I've got in, like the designer mystery quilts and block of the months and all that sort of stuff as well. So and I will do updates on the community tab, because what I think is after this, because I've got so much prep to do, and I'm pretty sure that you guys don't want to just sit here to watch me make, like, do all the diamonds and everything. What I will do is I will endeavour to get, in the next couple of weeks, get all of the diamonds done. Now there is quite a few. I believe that there is, it'll be close to 800 white diamonds I've got to do, and the same for the colour as well. There's 66 stars all up in the pattern of the coloured one, so where the colour is in the centre and the white is on the outside, and there's 76 of the white in the centre and the colour on the outside. So yeah, there's a lot of preparation to do. So what I thought I'd do is I would do all the prep and all the rest of it, and then when I'm ready to sew a heap of stars together, I can do that on camera with you. So if you are doing this along with me and you've got the pattern and everything, the link is down below, as I've said in previous videos. The link is down below, and I'm pretty positive it is a PDF pattern, and so you'll be able to just print that off. Now when we come over to do our next side of our white one, we will have to fold our diamond in half. Okay, as you can see here, I'm just folding that in half, and we're going to line up our sides, and we're going to continue stitching. And I like to, just where any points come into one another, I like to put a couple of stitches in there, and I just go do a ladder stitch backwards and forwards. Not a ladder stitch, sorry, just a little tacking stitch, but it's a tiny little tacking stitch. So I just go backwards and forwards, and that just secures it. And on the last one I will just loop it through and pull that thread. Hopefully it'll let me. It won't tie off before. There we go. So yeah, and then I can just continue on. So there's nothing wrong with folding your diamonds in half or your hexagons in half to do that. It can be, it's like a little jigsaw puzzle really. So yeah. Then I just continue sewing across. I dropped my thimble the other day. I'm spewing. I've got to find it. It bounced. When I dropped it, it was in the bedroom. It bounced. And do you think I could find it? It must have went like right up under the bed. No, so I'm going to have to get under there this week and try and find it, because I really do miss it, because it helps to just when you're pushing through. I don't always wear it, but yeah, it does help every now and again. So you can see here as I'm doing this, I'm actually doing it on the angle, and I find it a bit easier to bring the needle towards myself. So hopefully you can see that pretty clearly on what I'm doing. And when you get to these tails, just move them out of the way and sew your straight edge. and get all your points to line up and everything like that. All right, so that's what one component looks like. Looks like a little box, really, doesn't it? But we're gonna add a star on. Like, really, I could probably add another white one on there, but I'm gonna add a star in the point of the star instead, and then that way I know I won't. As I said, I've never done stars before, so this is the way to do it. I don't know, it's new to me, I guess. But yeah, I'll get my rhythm soon enough. I'm sure I will. So I'm going to continue on doing the little prongs of the star, so you can see how that white one goes in now, and we've got 6 of those to go in. And what will happen is we'll end up creating a hexagon, and yeah, and they'll be the same size as the other hexagons that we've already done. As you can see, even though they're small, it's actually going together pretty quick. I'd be interested to see if, leave me a comment down below if you're doing hexagons or stars or anything like that, or you're doing English paper piecing, whether actually going on the side, because as I said, this is the first time like I've done stars or anything like that, but I didn't realize how I stitched my hexagons together, and you can see the 2 different styles. Like, in some places I'm going straight across, in other places I'm going on an angle, and the angle seems to be less able to be seen, whereas when I'm going straight across you can see that. So tell me down below, do you have a preference in which way you sew? Like, you can see here I'm sewing towards myself on an angle, and yeah, so, and it's making a difference in the stitching. So oh, I'm liking this. This is looking really good. I might have to get some more of this to add into it, because it's just so pretty. All right, let's add our next star point on. Go that way because the little bit is yeah, that's going to work really well because my little tail's out of the way, which is good. Makes it a bit easier for me. These stars are going to be adorable when they're done, I just think. And the spots and the stripes as well are going to be awesome as well, because you're going to get little patterns in them, especially the stripes. And I've got a couple of other little ones that have got similar colours to this. I think the little ladybugs would look good in the stars as well, and it's got the rainbow through it. Like, this has got the green, like the tealy colour, it's got the red, it's got pink, it's got orange, it's got yellow, it's got like lime green, and I think, where is it? And it's got like a really pale teal-y sort of colour as well. So you can see here, and it's sort of like in a, so you've got your, like your lightish blue, then like a tealy colour or an aqua, like a greeny aqua, then you've got a light purple, dark purple, then you've got a fuchsia, red, orange, yellow, lime green, and then the pattern continues on. So we're going to get some pretty stars out of it. As I said, I'm pretty sure the little beetles have the same sort of colours in it too, so I'll be able to add that in along with the ones that I'm taking out, so the purple, the yellow, the cream with the teacups, but then there's red on that, so I'll be able to bring some red into it as well. And yeah, and just have a look at the little tiny, is it tiny beasts or little creatures or something it's called, I'm terrible with names of fabric. If I had my friend Michelle here, she would know exactly which fabric it is. She is awesome when it comes to knowing the line of fabric. I'll say something and she goes, oh yeah, that'll be this, this and this. And I'm like, she's like the encyclopedia of fabric lines. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration. I'm sorry, Shell. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but that's what it feels like sometimes. And she'll rattle something off, and I've got no idea which little line it is at all. But I'll describe it to her, and she'll go, "Oh yeah, that was so and so's," and I'm like, "My God, you're an amazing woman." And she's doing a lot of English paper piecing quilts at the moment. I think she's working on the Galaxy, and there's a couple of other ones as well. So if you haven't followed her over on her Instagram, she is Shell_Trails. And yeah, she's got some awesome block. She's doing the, oh, who is it? I forget. Something, no, Gnome Angel, I think it is, or Angel Gnome. Gnome Angel, I think it is. They are doing every year around this time, they do 100 blocks in 100 days. And she's doing it, I think this is the 3rd year in a row that she's done it. And each year she's done it with different blocks. She is far better at finishing things than I am when it comes to quilt-alongs and stuff like that. I think I'm up to block 30. It's probably less actually, and I really should have pulled it out, and I didn't, because it's in a cupboard and it's behind everything, behind all the floss and all the rest of it, and I just didn't pull it out. So hopefully this weekend, because I've been super busy too, so hopefully this weekend I might be able to pull it out and get some more of those blocks done. I think they're up to, actually I can't tell you what they're up to. I think they're up to, I think it starts at the beginning of August, so they might be up to block 17 or 18, or it starts at the end of July. I'm not 100% sure. But I signed up for it a few years ago, and yeah, it was great. Like, I enjoyed it, but then life got busy, as it always does, and it just made it very hard to keep up, you know, on a daily basis. So, and then I fell behind, and then I can't remember, I think Mia got sick or something, and then I just ended up not finishing off when I should have. All right, I'm just going to pull this off to camera first. Actually, I'm going to finish that thread off, because that's not going to make it to the end, and just rethread my thing, and then that'll be easier, because I was going to say it's a little bit tricky with it being so short, so I might, yeah, but anyway. All right, so that's all secure. Got magnets everywhere at the moment. Right, so I'll just sit that there. But that's going to look super pretty. Like, that is, oh, I just love it. I think it's absolutely fabulous. All right, let me just rethread. Where's my end of thread? There it is. I don't know what happened, but my thread just seems to have unspooled itself at the bottom here. Hopefully I can get it on now. Oh, look at that. That worked. No, that just locked it. I don't know what happened. Let me cut that off. There we go. Right. Got rid of it. I knew I was getting close to it. I think it got just caught up, and I pulled it, and it was the wrong thread, and yeah, you know how it is. Do these things. All right. This is going to look amazing when it's done. I'm so happy with it. I could handle having all the stars just done with this fabric, to be honest. I think it'll look absolutely stunning. All right, let's line that up again. Now, the main focus you want to focus on is your center, and get that all looking pretty. And as I said, I like to do a couple of tacking stitches there just to hold it in place. I mean, it's not necessary. It's just something that I do. I don't know why. It's just sort of the way I was taught. I guess, like, as I said, I learnt from a lady ages ago, and I just did hexagons. But, you know, I'm sure there's other techniques out there now. Like, that was a long time ago. But it is what it is, and I'm always happy with how my hexagons and everything finish off. As I said, this is the first time I've done a star, because really I haven't done a lot of English paper piecing in the scheme of things. As I was saying, Michelle has done so much more, but I do have quite a number of projects here. That one, like 3 of them have all the papers there. I haven't chose my fabrics yet, although I have actually chose for one of them. But I sort of want to get this one finished before I start that, and I want to get a little bit more done on the Dear Jane quilt as well. But that Dear Jane quilt, that's going to go for a long time because it is huge, and the blocks are only like 4.5 inches, and some of the, like, I've still got a lot of prep to do with that, but I'm sort of just doing one block at a, I've been doing one block at a time, and I think that's probably going to be the extent of it. And I do have to get some more blue fabrics as well. Like, I've got a couple extras just to mix it up a bit. So I'm on the hunt for blue fabrics again, and I did find a couple of really nice ones. Like, there's just little pieces of fabric, like I think they're 10-inch squares or something, on AliExpress for like $3 and $4, and I have got fabric from there before, and it was quite, the fabric was fine. It was just it was I think it was Japanese made, and from one of them, and there was other ones that was just a quilting cotton that had little flowers and stuff on it. And yeah, and then there's Missouri Star Quilt Company as well that has all their, what is it, 1930s reproduction ones. So I want to get some of those as well. And I'll have to, before I look at Missouri Star, I'll look at Sue Daly here, see what she's got, because I've got a couple of fabrics from her in the past, and they're quite nice as well. I've got one of them. One of them was a blue one. And I sort of get those ones when they're on special, because I haven't done a blue and white quilt, and that's what it's in, all in blue and white. All right. Last tacking stitch here, doing a little. I feel like I'm like, I just feel really uncoordinated doing this. I feel so uncoordinated. What's going on here? All right, get out of the way. Got to make room for this little guy to slip in. Just press that because that little bit's come undone. Just hold it in place for me. There we go. All right, now just slip this little guy in. I think we'll have to go this way. No, go this way. Yep. This little tab here, this is where I normally go, help. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. If everything's lining up and I get that point to line up, it's not going to really matter about that little tail. As I said, these are the first stars that I've done, so it'll take me a little while to get my mojo, I guess. My stitching, like which way I'm going to you know, hold it and stuff like that, which will be the easiest for me. I guess by the time I'm finished doing what's that, 100 and what have we got, 66? It's like 142 stars I think in total are in it, so something like that. Oh, go away. I don't want you to get caught up in it. Just got, there we go. Get off. All right. Oh, you can hear that nasty cough. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yeah, that was Savannah in the background coughing. She's not sounding, not COVID, just a cold. And subsequently, she's given it to her sister. So, yeah. But hopefully she'll be able to go to school tomorrow. Any luck? not liking the sound of her, so chances are not. But anyway, it is what it is. They've got it out of the way. They're not allowed near me. They're both carrying their Glen 20 around. And Nerily wants to share it because she walks into my room earlier on today and goes, oh, I don't think I'm going to go to work today. I feel pretty sick. And she goes, I don't have a headache today, but I feel really bad. And she goes, I'm on headset tonight. So she's talking on that. And I said, well, we'll see how you feel because she's working a later shift. So we'll see how she feels this afternoon. She likes money, so she'll probably still go. I mean, she's not near anybody and she's not touching anybody's food. She's just on headset. So I guess it wouldn't be so bad, but I don't think they should go when they're sick because it just spreads it around then and then everybody's sick. But yeah, she walks in a room and I'm like, where's your mask? Get your mask on. Get out of my room. Don't touch anything. Go away. I love you, but go away. So yeah, anyway. She's like, oh, there's no need to be like that. I'm, oh yes there is, because I don't want to get sick, love. So off you pop. But she likes to share stuff around, the little turnip. Alright, now. Got some stuff happening in this corner. In this little area here. So hopefully my star will turn out okay, but whew, there's a lot of little bits and pieces there. Alright, so I've lined everything up. I think that it's going to be fine. But like always, I'm going to put a couple of tacking stitches there. And then... So yeah, as I was saying, I've got to get some blue fabrics for the, like I've got a few, I've got a fat quarter pack, a couple of fat quarter packs, and then I've got a couple of fabrics here that I can use. I don't want to use any Liberty Tanner lawn because everything that I've used so far is 100% quilting cotton, not lawn. And so I have another quilt that is a applique quilt that I'm doing, a needle turn applique. Well, I'm doing it a cheats way, but yeah, so that's another thing that I'll end up working on as well. So I've put that away because I just didn't have time. Mia was here and she kept picking up the pieces and taking off with my templates and all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to get all this stuff out now and get a move on that. And that's all done. All the flowers and everything in it are going to be done in Liberty Tanner Lawn. And I'm doing that on, I've only done, I think I've done 1.5 blocks. I was doing it on calico, but I've since got some linen, and I'm just going to put the fabrics up against the linen and see how that looks. And I'm thinking that I might end up doing it on the linen because that would be really nice. Really nice. So that's what I'm sort of thinking of doing now. Alright. Okay. Well, that's about as... There's a little bit in the centre I'll need to work on, but I'm pretty happy with... Oh, there we go. Look, I can get all that out and then I can bring those two together because they're the two that I needed to line up that weren't lining up. Look at that. Well, look at me go, hey? Found a solution. So once I press that, all that's going to get out of the way. All right, yeah, that's better. It's still a little bit dodgy, but I'm happy with it. It's my first star, and as I said, I'll probably get a little bit more, like I've got to make a fair few. So as I go on, obviously I'll get my technique down pat and of holding it and stuff like that. But you can see here that that's what it's going to look like with our whites in it. Oh, there it is. There we go. So now all I need to do is give that a bit of a press. I'm really not happy with that center, but I think what I'll do is I'm going to leave it, and it'll give me something to refer. Like, it's not bad. I think actually what's putting it off is that purple dot, because really that's not that bad. That's pretty good considering that's my first star. I'm happy with that. But now all I have to do is put these white bits in, but I'm going to call it a day and leave it there and continue on with that. Now what I will do is I might finish this thread off actually. What I might do is I will put updates on the community tab. So for those that don't know, when you come to the home page of the channel, up the top it's got home page, which will be the page that you're on. Then there's videos, playlists, and the community tab. What I'll do as I'm doing this and I get the progression, like get progress through it, because I'm going to be doing a lot of prep work. So what I will do once I've finished doing all the prep, I will then basically, yeah, as I'm doing it, I'll just do an update on there, so you can head over to there and see what's going on. I will show you what I've got done next week, but only briefly, and then from that we will this will just make an appearance as I get some more progress done. So each month this will now go into the lounge room and become my lounge room project, because I'm almost finished my borrow, and that means that I can sit there once I've got everything. I can even prep in there because I don't need light really to cut fabric. It's just because I've got the little template on there, I've just got to cut around it. So I'm going to move this in once I'm finished. I've got a little bit more to do on my borrow, but once I'm finished it, I will have this as my lounge room project, and then I will get as much of this done when I'm sitting there watching TV, because I can just put a couch down, put a pillow down on the floor at the coffee table, and I can just sit there and glue and wrap fabric and cut fabric and do all the things that I need to do. So that's sort of what I'm thinking of doing, and then that way it will get done. Am I going to have it done by next week? I don't think so. I might come close, but I don't think so. It'd be good if I could, because then I'm going to be so much further along. I will give it a go though, because I also want to do a little bit of my crochet as well, although I don't really do that in front of the TV because I get distracted and then nothing gets done. Whereas I can wrap fabric and glue while watching TV. I think I can multitask on that one. But when you're learning something new, that's different again. Like, you can't really learn something new and then also like expect it to turn out really well either. You know, it's sort of like when I do something new on the channel and I'm talking to you guys and trying to work out the best way to go. It doesn't always go to plan. So that's why I've got a little bit of a dodgy start. But but what I'll do is I'm going to leave this star the way it is, because that represents the journey that I've taken to get, like, when I get to the end of it, you'll see, I'll know that this is my first star, and then it'll be interesting to see the progression of them and how much better I get at holding them, and like, even from the prong of the star this time to this now, I'm feeling more comfortable with how I'm stitching. As I said, I find it a lot easier to go on the angle and come towards me. I don't know. I'm just so really weird. But it's what's comfortable to me. Like, I find that comfortable, and isn't that what sewing is about? Could you imagine if I was learning in my great-grandmother's day? Oh, I probably would have got a wrap across the knuckles for stitching this way. And before everybody gets shocked, we all know that our grandmas and our great-grandmas wrapped us across the knuckles when we did something wrong. It was just the way of the times, and, you know, I can tell you now, when I go to do something... I can hear my grandma going off her dial if I know and then I know that's not the right thing to do if she's going off her dial in my head. You know, or I'm second guessing. Although I don't think she would wrap me across the knuckles for stitching this way. She would say to me, stitch however you feel comfortable. I know that. And I feel comfortable doing it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. All right, I'm going to tie a little knot there because that just broke. And I'm going to unwrap that and have a look and see how we're going, because that'll be our second white piece in there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Give it a bit of a press. Now, I'm not worried about the glue or anything. As I said, it'll wash out. Eventually it'll wash out. I need to glue that piece back on there though. Where's my glue pen? There it is. All right. Let's get you sitting back where you're supposed to be. No, you don't want to? Okay. Bit more glue for you. All right, so I'm going to call it a day on that. You can see how it's going to go together. As I said, keep an eye out on our community tab. So there, like, we've got a straight edge of the hexagon right there. So that's when it gets all sewn together, that'll be nice and straight. But that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that for my first one. What do you reckon? Leave me a comment down below and tell me, you know, got any tips or tricks for me? That this is not really like about me teaching you, although it is really because we're doing it together. But yeah, I can't see, like, I can see where I've gone into the fabric, but I can't see the stitches. As a couple I can see as such, but again, the going in the angle, and I think once I take that cardboard out, that's going to relax a lot, and I'm not going to see that. And once it's quilted, definitely not going to see it. I'll have to ask Michelle for tips on this center bit, because as a long arm quilter, when I go to quilt that, that's going to be a problem. That could end up, like, I can flatten that out a bit more, like as I'm doing that and manipulating it, and once the cardboard's out of it, it's probably going to relax a lot more. So yeah, so I'm hoping that I'll ask Shell. She's usually got some good tips for me. That she's pretty good like that, but that's going to look pretty awesome once that's all sewn in. Keep sewing that together, but I'm going to call it a day because I've been with you for over an hour now, and I'm sure that you've got stuff to go and do. I've got a few things that I've got to do today. I've got to get some quilting done. I've got to refilm part of the row by row because I had some issues with it, so I'm going to refilm that. But that's it from me today. If you've made it this far, don't forget to leave me a sewing needle emoji down in the comments. Tell me what you were working on as well. Thank you for spending some time with me today and keeping me in the forward moving motion of getting all of my projects done. Have a wonderful day. Get lots of crafting in, and if you're new here and you've yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any of my future uploads. Join me again next week for Crafting with DDs, which is on every Thursday, and you'll have to wait and see what I'm going to do. And also keep an eye out for updates on progression updates on the community tab here on the channel. All right, everybody, that's it from me today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all again next time. Bye for now.